Hello, beautiful ladies. Welcome to Couch to Grace. And if you're new here, my name is Mariam, your host. If you're returning, thank you so much for all your love and your support. I truly, truly appreciate it. So, in today's episode, we're just gonna reflect really on a trip that I went on recently. I just got back from Zambia. If you don't know, I'm half Zambian, so yeah, I went back to Zambia to just work on a project and a few projects really. So yeah, it taught me a lot. Like the whole journey and the experience was quite interesting. The last time I went to Zambia was 2022, and I went for enjoyment. So this time I went back on a mission, and yeah, it was quite an interesting trip and journey. So I just wanted to sort of like reflect back because God did quite a lot in that period anyway. So yeah, before I get into that, how is everyone? How are you? How's life? How was Easter? And yeah, how are you doing in general? So, the previous episode, I spoke about self pity and getting out of that self pity mindset. And that really stuck with me. Like, that episode was so special to me. It stuck with me throughout the whole period I was in Zambia. And I was just like, okay, I saw the different side of um, Christian faith. Like, it was amazing. I kept looking at people, like obviously they're not in probably the best condition or circumstances, like obviously the poorer side of Africa, and the joy and the peace that they still have, I was like, wow. I was like, this is really unconditional love. They have nothing, they don't have everything, but they still have that peace and joy, and they still love God so much. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. Like that self-pity mindset. It was really interesting because I got a chance to see different aspects of Zambia, like obviously the people that are doing really well, and then the people that are not doing so well. Like from the moment that I landed, I know people that are African, you will notice that there's always like people on the roadsides begging for money or begging for food or just begging for a better life. And it was heartbreaking just to see, like, honestly, the whole time I was just there like, God bless me so I can bless these people, because like what is going on? And I was just so angry at like the government and stuff, and I'm like, what is going on? Why is there so much poverty? This is 2026. How many charities have been set up? How many things has the government or like people like America? I was really, really, really annoyed, and I was just like, I'm not into politics, but I was just like, what is going on? What are the government doing? I know the government, the current president, is doing quite a lot, and yo, I don't live in Zambia, so I don't know, but from what I've heard, I know that he's doing quite a lot to reverse corruption and all of that. He's trying to really put Zambia on the map, and I think um correct me if I'm wrong, but I think currently Zambia's currency is the strongest currency in Africa at the moment, and that's all their president's handwork. But guys, corruption, it's so hard, stepping into a place that's already broken, trying to put it back. It's like when the Israelites got to a point where they were like, just let us go back to Egypt, because they were not used to um they knew, like, they knew lives and new order and stuff like that. I feel like when I went to Zambia, I was just like, yeah, this is what it is. Like a lot of people that were used to corruption, and a lot of people are getting rich off corruption and stuff like that. And now that the president is trying to put things in place, like he's literally tackling corruption and he's just trying to make the country better, people are not used to that because it takes a lot. It just doesn't happen like that. And I don't know if we're going to give him another chance, but elections are soon. Let me stop politics because I am not into politics and I don't want to say the wrong thing. So yeah, but anyway, I mentioned that in terms of like, I was just so like, life is not balanced. There's so many people that are doing so well, but yet again they don't have time for God. And then there's so many people that were less privileged and they were giving God everything. Like from my observation, I was just like, this is incredible and heartbreaking at the same time. And I was just reflecting back on like, okay, God, what does Zambia need? Like what's needed here? Raise people to bring back your original design. And I was just like, I don't know how to explain it, guys, but God is doing a lot in Zambia, and I'm just like, wow, this is really incredible. I was really impressed with like the faith that people have. And my mom goes to this church. They're currently building their own venue, but they have like a canopy. That's where they worship. And if you see like how much joy everyone had, and when I went there, I was just like, oh, this is cute. Like it's a nice the word was powerful. Like it was a powerful church, but it wasn't like fancy and stuff like that. And they were worshiping God, and they were just so happy. They were full of faith, full of, and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. And it just reminded me of how privileged we all are. And you could be sat in a whole different country and you have everything, yet you're not satisfied, yet you're not at peace, yet you're striving for something better. But somebody out there is praying for your life. They're praying to just have a glimpse of your life, or just a little bit of your life, like a piece of your life. But we're here privileged with all many, like so many advantages and so many things at our literally at our feet. Like we don't have to fight for certain things. I'm just talking about comparing to Africa. I know, like, even in this country, there's so many of us that don't have everything, but it just brought me to a point where I was like, God, I'm here crying, like, I need this, I need that, I want my life to be better. Yet again, there are people that don't even have the basic needs, like, they don't have the basic things, but they're so happy and they love you genuinely. And I was like, wow. So now imagine if those people had everything that they wanted, would they still have the same posture for God? And vice versa, if everything was stripped away from us that have everything figured out or more privileged, would we still have that same posture and that same perception of God? Or would we step back into that self pity and blaming zone, or where you're like, oh, this my life, that, like, it just did a lot to me. And I was just like, okay, I was so grateful. And I was just like, God, I'm grateful for the position I'm in. I'm grateful for everything that you have given me, because there are people there that if they could just have 2 seconds of my life, they would be like, oh God, you're amazing. And I'm living in this life. There are people that want to live in this life, in my life, that to them, they're like, I've made it. And I'm here thinking, God, what next? So it's life is funny, guys. And I just wanted to remind you to just be grateful where you are. And yes, we talked about self-pity and positioning your mindset in the right way. Step out of that um comfort and walk into your calling. But whilst we're doing that, I just want us to be conscious of how other people are living. Like, I'm sure there are worse people than what I've seen in Zambia. Like, it's just heartbreaking. I don't even have words. But yeah, I just wanted to encourage you to just be grateful and remember those people that are less privileged, and think about them when you're complaining. Think about the people that are less privileged. Like, they're praying for the life that you have that you think is not enough. So yeah, just be grateful for everything that's happening. That being said, so my journey to Zambia, oh my God, it was amazing. And sorry to disturb your video, but I just wanted to jump in and remind you that I still have my book on Amazon, Becoming Her, and it's just a book about my testimony and my journey. So feel free to grab a copy. I will link all the information in the description box. And I also create journals and planners. So I have a prayer journal that I recently launched, and it's so powerful. It will help you if you don't know where to begin. It will help you with prayer, and it will help you with structuring your life better. I'll also link everything in the description below, and also my planner as well. So if you're a busy person or you just don't know where to begin and you want to put your life in order, my planner is amazing. It's got scriptures. It's very, like, honestly, I created this planner with so much thought and intent. So grab a copy and let me know what can be done better, because I'm in this journey where I'm just creating for you guys. I'm trying to create tools to help you step out of your comfort into your calling. So yeah, grab a copy and enjoy the rest of the video. It was amazing. So, just a little bit of background on the projects that I was working on. So, my parents retired 2 years ago or so, 2 years ago. And before they retired, they were trying to set up like a farm in Zambia and stuff, and just trying to, like, do something back home. So, we have a family farm in Zambia, and I think we acquired like is it 6 or 8 acres of land? But yeah, so we started off with tomatoes, okra, and green peppers, and we did onions, cabbage, chilies, sweet potatoes. We did a lot. So then we had workers and stuff like that. And so it was basically structured like a normal farm, if that makes sense. And we didn't use all the land. I think we only used like 2 acres of the land doing all of that. And we had stuff that were living on the farm to obviously security, and also to just manage and look after the staff. And it's quite not too far. It's like 45 minutes away from where mom lives, where mom and dad live. It's so it's out there, but then the roads are bad, so so it's like an hour plus if you're you know driving in. Yeah. So so everything was in place, and the only thing that was lacking was obviously structure and proper management. Obviously everyone, like my siblings, we're all busy. We've all got our own lives and stuff like that, and I was helping managing it from the beginning, but then when life was life, and I was like, guys, I tap out, like I can't do this. I've got too much on my plate. But then recently I have been praying, and God has just been like, with the new with this new journey that I'm on, it's part of like what I want to do with strategic coaching and stuff like that, and management. And because I've done project management and stuff, so I was just like, you know what, I will take this on as a full project rather than just, oh, it's something on the side, like helping family here and there. So yeah, so that's what I went to do. So I went to just go restructure everything, speak to the workers, and I tried to speak to a lot of like shops and supermarkets to try and secure, especially the okra, because okra was one thing that I noticed that a lot of people wanted and needed, like, the women in the markets and the women on the roadside, and some shops like choppies and stuff like that. There's like shops equivalent to maybe, let's say, Lidl, Asda, and stuff like that, that I approach to try and secure like weekly supply and stuff like that. So basically, I just went to go and put everything in place and try and move from something on the side to a proper business, because I said, I keep telling my parents, I'm like, you're not running a charity, you're running a business, and you're putting money. There's money that's been put in this. You can't just just sit there and whatever. So yeah, that's what I went to do, and it was amazing. I walked the whole farm. Oh, I think I did like more than 9K steps, and that's huge for me because yo. So yeah, so that's what I went to do. I spoke to the workers. I tried to basically, I just went to audit the place and audit the area as well, just trying to understand what we need to focus on and stuff like that. So yeah, it was amazing. And in that journey, God just kept reminding me of who I am in Him. And I was so big on identity in Christ. And I was just like, okay, when you're just thriving in what you're doing, I was just like, my brain was just like, I was like, yeah, this is where I'm meant to be. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So, yeah, so from that, and I was just reflecting just to say, you know what, see how powerful positioning yourself and changing your mind, like mindset, is such a key thing. Because during that whole period, I don't think I would have tried to take on that project if my mindset wasn't changed. Because you would be looking at it like, okay, you're managing stuff, you're managing this, you're doing that, I'm all the way here, how are we going to do all of that? And yet again, God was just saying, like, my grace is sufficient. I'm going to give you grace. I'm going to give you strategies. I'm going to give you everything that you need to be able to do this. And in a way, I've just seen it as honoring my parents, because they can't be, they're old, man, they're retired, so they need to be relaxing and just, enjoying the retirement, and once in a while visit the farm as well. So yeah, that's that project amongst other projects that I was working on, which I didn't want to talk about because I'm still working on them. But yeah, all in all, Zambia was amazing, and it was lovely to see how people really hold on to their faith, and just to see the mindset in different environments, because sometimes when we're so privileged, we don't see the full picture because we focus on ourselves. And I keep saying that whatever God does, he does to advance the kingdom of God, not just yourself and your little family. And Zambia really showed me that, and I was just like, wow, okay, this is a different side of life, and people that are living there, they really have nothing else to hold on to but God. And that was amazing to actually see that even though they don't have everything figured out, their peace, goodness me, peace. And I'm telling you, like, I'm looking at little kids running around half naked, just, dirty and stuff like that. But the joy that they had, and I was just like, wow, like the peace that the parents had, everyone, they would be walking to the market in, the little chitenges, we call it, like, or wrapper or whatever you guys call it. They'll just be walking, and they just have so much peace. Like, they look at you, they're hi, they're saying hi to everyone, everyone's so friendly, everything's just so calm and peaceful. But yet again, they're hustling day and night trying to just make small change. And I was just there like, wow, this is amazing. This is wonderful. So that really, like, put me in a specific, I don't even know what to say, guys. Like, you can tell, like, this whole time I'm just lost for words, because I'm still trying to understand how we can have people that are privileged and they're still wanting more from God and don't even want to give him time. And then you've got people that don't have it all, and literally they're just so happy and content with their lives. And that just made me say, you know what, how you position yourself mentally is very important. And I keep saying this will be found in his presence, because all they literally have is God and his presence. And they have so much faith to know that as long as they serve God. And it also reminds me of the lion's den and the story. Like, they had so much faith that even if they die, it's that, like, even if God doesn't show up and they die, to them they were at peace and they were content with that. But some of us, we want to serve God with the mindset of, what can I get, like, what can I get from him, or if I do this, what will happen, or it's like a transaction where that's how we view God. Okay, you need me to worship you, so what can you give me? Or I need to be richer, so I'm going to spend time and worship you, I'm going to spend time and study how to become rich. It's always about what can you get from God, if that makes sense. But going to Zambia and seeing the way the people lived, I was just like, there's no transaction there. It's just, God, I believe in you, I love you, I want to spend time with you, I want to be in your presence, and that's it. Like, if you bless me and I'm out of this position, God bless. Like, it's you know what I'm saying? Like, thank you, God, like, thank you. But they are not in a position where they're sitting there like, okay, what can I get from you? Or what are you gonna give me? Like, it's not a bargaining chip where you're saying, okay, I'm gonna worship you today. What am I gonna get? What am I gonna receive from you? They just worship him because he is who he is, and they are in love with him. Like, that's unconditional love. And that's what I want to leave with us. I just want to remind us, as we I just want to leave that with us, and just think about your life. Like, as you're living your life, some of you want better. Like, come on, we're human, we're always striving to have better and to do better. Remember the ones that are less privileged. Remember that God is not a genie, he's not a transactional God. Love him, form a relationship with him, and position yourself and position your mind in the right way to receive his blessings. I keep saying this, nothing you do will work if you don't if you don't hide in his presence, if you don't abide in him, if you don't remain in him, everything you'll be doing will just be in vain, and you just be, this whole cycle of self-pity and just blaming and just sitting in someone else's destiny when you have your own path that God has designed for you and you're not following. So I just want to encourage you, as we continue to, live our lives. And I know we've celebrated Easter. I think that was another thing where I was just like, okay, I was just reflecting a lot and I was just grateful. And I was just like, this is amazing. Like, God, you are amazing. Like, you truly just gave your life for us so that we can have the little that we have. And God, it's just amazing. As we continue to reflect on his love for us, remember those that are less privileged, and remember that your life that you think is not enough, someone out there is praying for just a glimpse or just a few seconds of your life, and they will be like, God, I've made it. So that's all for me today. And I've not really delved into like a specific topic, but I just wanted to reflect and touch on a few things that taught me when I went to Zambia. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. So enjoy the rest of the week. And just a reminder, I record every 2 weeks now, because I know some people were asking me, oh, where was your video last week? Which was amazing, because I'm like, okay, so you guys are actually watching me. But yeah, so I'll leave that now. So if you enjoyed this video, once again, you know what to do: like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to send it to a friend. They may want to know about my story in Zambia or whatever. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye.